Should you track your weight, sets, and reps? Does it make sense? Watch this.
Our next caller is Sky.
Sky, what's happening? How can we help you?
So hi guys, first of all. So I've been a trainer for about 3 weeks now. And well, last time I talked to you guys, I was still doing my school for training. So that's awesome that I got certified and got hired and stuff. So the first week I shadowed some trainers and I noticed that nobody had a written workout for their clients. Nobody really wrote down what their clients' reps were or their sets or what weight they were using. So I was just wondering how important it is to track your clients' workouts before they come in and then while you're working out with them also.
Okay, so tracking workouts, I think it's important to an extent, okay? It's important because you want to be able to look back and you want to show the client progress. Sometimes a client will be like, oh, you know, am I doing better? And then you can show them and say, actually, you did 2 more reps. You added weight. You're doing, you know, this different, that different. So that's where the importance is. But what some trainers do is they get so hung up on tracking all the details of the workout that then they become so focused on progressing performance that they don't pay attention to other things. Because progress with performance, strength, reps, that kind of stuff, it's not linear. In the beginning it is, but eventually it kind of wavers. And if you train someone for 3, 4, 5 years, they're not going to keep getting stronger. So you want to pay attention to other things. So that would be the thing I'd pay attention to. Okay, so yeah, you could track that stuff, but don't let it be the be-all, end-all. It's definitely good information, but you also want to pay attention to their energy, how they feel, their mobility, you know, their consistency, their moods, you know, their health. Do they look vibrant? Like those are the other things that you want to pay attention to as well.
I think it's especially important for new trainers. And I think it's a discipline that they should show professionalism by, you know, really caring by doing the work in terms of like being able to see patterns, be able to understand your client on that level and keep track and be able to refer to them, you know, later on. But as you grow and develop more as a trainer, you start to see these patterns automatically and you start to really peer into more of the behaviors that they're presenting and how to kind of move and do subtle things that will move the needle quite substantially more. But I still think this is one of those sort of pillars in the beginning that is just a discipline that's just a good practice. So you're able to understand people's individual variances and needs more specifically by writing down that data and not just winging it.
I think if you were to look at probably all of us, if you were to peer in when we first started as trainers, I'm pretty certain that you would have caught all of us with clipboards, tracking.
That's right.
If you would catch, if one of us were to train a client right now, you probably wouldn't see that.
No.
Yeah.
And that's just because years and years of understanding what Sal was talking about. Like, okay, yeah, it's good to have this data so I get an idea when I see certain things like, oh, wow, all these numbers are going down. That's a sign of this or that. You have to learn all that. Once you learn all that, then you see the cues on people because you've done it for so long. So when I was coaching, when I had trainers working underneath me, I would want that when they're first starting off. And the only other time I'd probably get onto a trainer who wasn't tracking like that is if I felt like they looked distracted while my client was training with them.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, that the nice thing about carrying a clipboard and writing down, they look attentive. Where some trainers get lazy and, you know, they don't have a clipboard, they don't have a stopwatch, they're not really watching the client's form. They're over there sipping on their Starbucks or looking at the cute girl that walked by, and it's like, that looks awful. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how long you've been training for and how intuitive you think you can train your clients. If it looks unprofessional to my members, you're fucking up my business. So then I got a problem with it. But you know, if you've been doing this for long enough, like I wouldn't expect that. I didn't expect that from, I would never, when Justin worked for me, he had already been training a long time. I wouldn't come over to him and be like, hey, where's your clipboard? Why aren't you writing these stats down? I trust his ability to be able to guide his clients, but he was also very attentive with his clients. If he was leaning on the machine, sipping on a latte, I'd have a different conversation with him.
Yeah. Since you're new too, and I know you're mirroring or, you know, kind of following around other trainers, find the trainer that you admire the most, that you think is the most successful, both in terms of, you know, client satisfaction and business, and pay attention to what they're doing that you think is working. Okay, that's a really, really great way to learn. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to do everything that they do. In fact, they probably do stuff that doesn't work as well. But pay attention and say, what are they doing that's working? What are some of the things that makes this trainer successful with their clients? And it might just be that they can change their personality based on the client, or that they tend to be in a great mood, or that they have great record keeping.
Right.
Pay attention to those things, because that'll really help guide
And
you.
you're also going to see opportunities where you can sort of fill a lot of those gaps, and where you don't see trainers doing certain things you think might help in terms of adding value. And your clients are going to see that, and potential clients are going to see what you do differently. And so I was always looking at what they weren't doing and what I could improve upon, and show, the level of service I could present that would just blow everybody else out of the door. And that's how I got most of my business. So
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm reading right now the whole question that you sent over, and now I see the angle you're coming from. Like, that's how I would actually reframe the way you're looking at this. Instead of looking at it like, oh my God, they all suck, or they're terrible, they don't do a good job. Be like, oh yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for me to blow all these guys away because they're not doing it. So for me, okay, I came in, I had no education. I was going through my first national certification. I was only 19, just barely turning 20 years old. So everybody was smarter and more experienced than I was. Yet within 3 months, I was the top trainer. And it was because of these types of things. Nobody was paying attention to their client. Nobody had energy when they were with them. Very few trainers showed up on fucking time. It was like I saw all these opportunities on how to be more professional, more enjoyable trainer, and I wasn't even as good. They were all better than I was, but they were dropping the ball on so many things that I saw that were easy. It didn't take more education for me to show up on time. It didn't take more education or experience for me to be more in tune to my client while I was training them. Like, so when you see those things, instead of you being like the attitude of like, oh my God, they suck, or oh, they're just like, oh wow, this is great opportunity for me to step in and be that good because they're all dropping the ball.
Be
on
undeniable.
Totally.
Because I'll tell you what, you go to it. So Justin, after he left 24 Hour Fitness, he went over to a private facility. And they were all elite trainers. Talk about, that's a worse situation for a new trainer because it's intimidating. You look at there and everybody, they're checking all the boxes. They're smart. They're warming up correctly. They're all on time.
They're great at marketing themselves already.
So you would much rather, like, you go into a commercial gym and you see everybody dropping the ball. That, to me, I'm licking my chops.
Opportunity.
I'm like, real soon here, I'm going to be the top dog.
Sky, do you have MAPS Prime and Prime Pro? Because those are really valuable programs for trainers.
I do, so don't yell at me.
Not another one.
I love how
Well, good job, Sky.
Appreciate
Appreciate it. Good luck. Good luck being a good trainer.
Yeah.
Hey, and
show them what time it is.
Hey, I guarantee there's probably a huge opportunity right there with Prime and Prime Pro. I bet very few people prime their clients before they
take
work
them
out.
through assessments. That's a huge differentiating factor.
Yeah.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, you can.
So I've been having some trouble with the new clients that I'm getting about like the balance between letting them kind of do what they want with the workout and them not really listening to what I have to say. So like a goal would be strength, and they kind of try to turn the workout into a body pump.
Yeah.
And I tell them how important rest is.
That's a confidence thing, Sky. That's common with new trainers.
It is, but here's the thing, though. This is also the motivation behind why we started this. I don't know if you followed. You know that we have a Mind Pump Clips YouTube channel? So it is. So we have 3 channels on YouTube, and we just started the Mind Pump Clips, where we break up these short things where, and I bet we've already covered this. Maybe Andrew can look for it while we're talking right now. But send a client us talking about it. You don't even need to, like, when I was in your spot, when I was just coming up, one of the things I did really good was where I recognized where, man, I didn't have the words to articulate this, but I knew someone who did. And I wasn't afraid to use their if I respected their opinion and like their knowledge, their experience, use us like that. Send the clip to them, and if you're not getting through to them,
or watch it and learn how to communicate.
Of course, you obviously you're going to have to watch it yourself to find the clip, right? So, and that's how you'll learn, though, is you listen to us talk about it and explain it enough times, you'll start to put it in your own words. But don't hesitate to use all this free material that we're giving you guys as coaches and trainers. So a lot of trainers in our forum, that's what they do, is they take instead of them trying to put the words, they're like, here, these guys have been doing this for 20 fucking years. Let them communicate what I'm trying to say to her.
Yeah, but the confidence thing's a big one, Sky, because these people hire you, and what they want from a trainer is they want the trainer to tell them the path and what they need to do. Okay. And there's a line here, right? You don't want to be a dictator, but at the same time, you got to be confident. So I've never had a client, question me when I say, hey, come here, we're doing this exercise. Like, okay, I'll follow you. No, I want to do 50 reps. No, we're going to do 5. And then we do it. Well, why are we doing 5? And then I'll explain. Like when they feel confident because you're confident, they'll do what you say. If they feel hesitation, then they're gonna wait. They're gonna push you around, and they're gonna tell you what they want to do. So you got to be. You're the leader. You're the coach. You tell, and you can say that, by the way, when they do this and they push back. Say, look, John, you hired me because you want me to guide you. You got to do what I say. You got to trust me, and I promise you won't. I will never have to ask for you again to trust me if you just trust me this one time. Like you got to be confident like that, because then the person's gonna want to follow you. Nobody follows somebody that doesn't look like they want to lead, right? So. That's the confidence you have to display. And look, you're the trainer. So you got to put that out there, and then you're not going to get those questions.
That's really easily said by somebody who's very confident and has no problem talking too, though. Okay, so don't be.
I didn't say it's easy, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah, you'll get there. Don't. It's okay for you to utilize people like us until you build that confidence, or while you build that confidence.
Oh, that'll help because it's going to give you the information.
That's
you need
right,
for sure.
and that's exactly how I built my business. Was I didn't have the words yet, I didn't have the education yet, I didn't have the experience yet. I got it by leaning on people that I knew that were more experienced, more intelligent than I was, listened and read and paid attention. And when I ran into situations like this where I couldn't get through to a client, that I couldn't articulate what I was trying to get across, I would find it. And I'd send, back then there wasn't YouTube videos I was sending, I'm sending like articles, read this article or what that to explain what I'm trying to communicate to them, why I want them to do this. So utilize this like that. It'll help build that confidence.
All right.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Sky.
Thank you guys so much for
Appreciate
everything.
Good luck.
All right.
Thank you.
Man, that's so common with young trainers or new trainers. Imagine if you took your money to someone to invest for you, and you're like, I'd like to invest this money.
They're like, what do you want to do?
And they're like, well, I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Like, whoa, shit, man. You tell me, dude. You're the guy. So
Right.
that's you got to put that out as a trainer when you're training your clients. You have to put out there that you're going to do my workout. You hired me for, and you got to be okay saying that.
Right.
What's the worst possible thing that's going to happen?
What's
the client
Well,
gonna
you
say?
still look strong by knowing somebody in your network that has answers.
That's right.
And referring. That's
because
the
you
best
still
thing to
have
do.
the answer. You're just
Yes.
directing it somewhere.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
the thing that I can totally relate to this, because I actually trained where I was at, I trained like a lot of engineers and really brilliant people. I had rocket scientists. I had some freaking really smart clients when I'm 20 years old, and they want you to explain the detail, not just
Yeah.
tell me what to do.
Right.
They want why.
Right.
Why, Adam, am I having to? Why do you want me to rest for 2 minutes when
Yeah.
I'm not sweating very much? And I didn't have the words yet.
Yeah, you
bro.
got to have the information.
So I had the
helps.
confidence. I had the confidence to say, we're going to do this, and I would do that. But then I would get pushback sometimes by these very intelligent people when I wasn't there yet. That would go, well, why are we doing this? Why aren't I doing this instead? And then I'd be like,
Right.
So that's what, and so I can relate to not having the words. Like, she doesn't strike me as not a confident person, even the way she wrote her question and the way she's talking. I don't think she's not confident. But when you're that early on in your career, sometimes you don't have the words to explain while you're telling them.
Knowledge contributes to confidence
Yeah.
because then you have answers. So that's definitely a big component.
Should
But
put the hustle on the education piece. Like,
Yeah.
just keep gathering information and data and
Shit, you
sign
got
up
it
for
here.
courses. And that's a good point. I mean, we've gone over a lot of almost everything.
If you're a trainer and you literally Google and then put in the thing, whatever it is that
And
we're
put
talking
Mind
about.
Pump, and we got it.
put Mind Pump and then that, and a YouTube video, a blog, a white paper.
a podcast,
Yeah,
something.
99% of the time it will pop up. You will find something, and then listen and learn right there, and then utilize that as a way to communicate those until you find the words and the confidence to be able to have that
Totally.
conversation.